Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to use the VAR keyword and the let keyword to declare variables in JavaScript so that we can see their scope. Okay, so I have a blank page set up. Well, not completely blank actually. I already have a few buttons up there that are styled. Don't need to worry about those for now, but I'm going to use these to trigger some functions, which I'm about to write. And I'm going to take care of this in this script section, which is in the lower part of my web page. It's near the bottom of the body of the page. So the first thing I'm going to do within this script area is I'm going to go ahead and create a function. And my first function is going to be called the let keyword, because I want to see what happens when we declare variables with the let keyword. So for instance, I'm going to let x equal 10, and I'll let y equals Tampa. Now I'm going to put a little if function in here. So if x is greater than 5, which we can see that it certainly is, if x is greater than 5, then I'm going to let x equal 20, and I'm going to let y equal Orlando. Okay. And now, outside of this if function, I want to display my result. So I'll do a console log of x and a console log of y. Okay, and so that we can run this function, I'll go ahead and create an event listener down here, document.getElementById. And I already forgot what my button is called. It's up here. Let keyword, that's it. Add event listener, and we'll do this on click. And the function I want to call, of course, is my let keyword function. I don't need the parentheses there. Okay, so there's my function. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save this real quick. Head on over to the browser. Reload, and I'm going to press my let keyword button. And we see off to the right in my console log that I'm getting 10 and Tampa. 10 and Tampa. Even though if x is greater than 5, which it is, x should have been 20 and y should have been Orlando. Interesting. But in order to get a better understanding of this, let's take this entire function, paste it. This one's going to be a little bit different. This function is going to be for my var keyword. So I'm going to use var and var, var and var. Still going to display. Okay, I think I've got them all changed. Let's do a side-by-side comparison. Otherwise, the functions are exactly the same. Head to my browser. Refresh. Again, I'm going to press let keyword. I get 10 in Tampa. Now I'm going to press var keyword. I get 20 in Orlando. So this gives us a little bit of insight into what's going on. With the let keyword, the scope is limited to its block. So basically, the let keyword variables of x and y are only true within this if block. So as far as the console log knew, the let keywords were equivalent to 10 and Tampa. Whereas the var keywords, those did change. They were not contained by the if block. This confirms for us that use of the var keyword has a wider scope than using the let keyword. Now, just to emphasize this even more, let's see what the limitations of var are. So I'm going to create a third function down here. This one's going to be a little bit smaller. We'll just call it a function, another function. Console log x and console log y. Okay, so basically, I do need an event listener for that. So let me just copy one of my previous ones. And let's see, what button am I working with here? This is my another button. And the function is going to be my another function. Okay, so you see this third function is only going to display x and y, but what is it going to display? Let's find out. Head on over to the browser, refresh, let keyword, 10 in Tampa, var keyword, 20 in Orlando, another function, undefined. So I have a problem in 57. So in line 57, actually it should have been probably line 57, I'm basically trying to display a variable which this function doesn't know. So the let variable is limited by a block. The var variable is limited within a much bigger scope, but in this one it's limited within the function. So I can't use it outside of it, which means if I were to head all the way up to my script outside of any functions, and I just put something in like x equals 50 and y equals Miami, now I've declared these variables without any really specificity, but now they are going to exist for that third function. Refresh. Another function, I get 50 Miami. Let, 10 in Tampa, var, 20 in Orlando. So we can determine that if we use our let keyword, it's going to be limited to the block, even if that block is within a function that has more statements. The var keyword has a greater scope, but is still limited by the function in which it's declared. And if we declare variables outside of a function or block, those are treated like global variables and they can be used by one or more functions within that script.